Welcome back to A View from Mulberry Street with Matthew J. Merry. That's me. I've talked plenty of times about how rough it is for a criminal defense lawyer to practice in federal criminal court. But at least in federal criminal court, there's a semblance of civility and honor and respect that makes the proceeding seem to be on the level, which it really isn't. But if you're a lawyer, if you're a criminal defense lawyer, and you ever have to do a hearing at the Waterfront Commission of New York Harbor, you will know the meaning of being humble, because it's a totally demeaning experience as a lawyer. A railroad job from the beginning to the end, and there's no chance ever to win anything in front of the Waterfront Commission. I recently wrote an article for Jerry Capizzi's internet publication called ganglandnews.com. And the title of the article was Time to Say Goodbye to the Waterfront Commission. When the Waterfront Commission of New York Harbor was created, they called it a compact between New York and New Jersey, which was approved by Congress. And that was back in 1953. And there may have been many good reasons back in 1953 to have a special agency to try to remove crime on the waterfront, which was running rampant.
Get a doctor!
In fact, there was a great movie that starred Marlon Brando and Lee J. Cobb called On the Waterfront, a very powerful movie indeed. And so the Waterfront Commission was created. However, here we are, 70 years later, and the need for such an agency is long gone. In addition, the agency itself has turned into something worse than a useless tool to fight crime on the docks. It has become an overbearing, holier-than-thou, pompous organization who decides who will and who will not work on the waterfront. And I'm speaking about doing that in a very arbitrary and capricious way. I have no objection at all to the Waterfront Commission or any other law enforcement body like it to say, if you commit a crime on the job, you're out. You're being thrown out. If you've committed a serious crime which affects your integrity off the job, you're out, okay? I even understand, although I don't agree with the notion that if they think you are a member of organized crime, that should not be enough to say you can't go to work. But so be it. I can go along with that. But what's happened in the Waterfront Commission is that even though, by all estimates, there's no need at all for such a special organization, the Waterfront Commission, in an effort to survive, has just become an organization which prevents Italian Americans from working on the waterfront, not because they have committed crimes or because they have relatives who are suspected of being members of organized crime, but because they have had some kind of contact. You have had contact with a member of organized crime, someone that the commission believes to be part of organized crime has been in your presence. What are these connections? What kind of contacts are they? Well, let's say if you go to a wedding and Don Corleone is there. You go to a wake, Don Corleone is there. You go to a birthday party and Don Corleone is there. Well, you know what? That's enough to get thrown off the docks. And there are cases after case which uphold what I'm saying. Believe me, I know it's hard to believe, but that's how powerful the Waterfront Commission is. And all of their decisions are upheld by the courts because they have a special power which has been codified under law, that the Waterfront Commission has the right to keep the docks clean, to keep the docks free of organized crime. Well, knowing somebody shouldn't be a reason why you lose your job or you can't have your job. I'm currently working on a case with Peter Till, who's a distinguished Waterfront Commission attorney and distinguished criminal defense lawyer in New Jersey. We're representing a longshoreman who for 10 years now has been under attack for over this decade because he went on a Caribbean vacation over 10 years ago with his brother, who also was a longshoreman. His brother had a friend who had been convicted of a RICO charge. The friend was not alleged by the commission to be a member of organized crime. The friend's crime had nothing to do with the waterfront. The friend had never set foot on the docks, but because this friend of my client's brother was a defendant in a RICO case and alleged by the Waterfront Commission to be an associate of an organized crime family, the Waterfront Commission wanted both brothers to be kicked off the job. And indeed, the older brother was kicked off the job because he had visited this person, his lifelong friend, childhood friend. He had visited this person in prison. He had sent this person money. He had accepted telephone calls from this prisoner. He met this guy when he came out of jail, went to his mother's house, met him on his job, met him at the gym. And the older brother told this all to the Waterfront Commission. He admitted that, okay? But that wasn't enough. They wanted to delve into every little detail, and because he wasn't able to give them every detail of the Caribbean vacation in Santo Domingo, he wound up losing his job on the waterfront. And the client that we have now, who's been fighting the case for 10 years, he suffered a heart condition, he suffered anxiety condition, he's currently under a doctor's care. We're still fighting to keep him registered as a longshoreman. And because he happened to meet with his brother's friend in Santo Domingo on vacation, that alone is justification to have him lose his job and his livelihood. And believe me, that's only one case of many, many cases that I have been involved in. And there are cases worse than that. The Waterfront Commission is an organization that has just become too powerful to continue to exist. They've got nothing to do, and they have distorted their power in order just to keep going. The state of New Jersey has withdrawn from the Waterfront Commission. Two governors, Governor Christie, a Republican, and Governor Murphy, a Democrat, have both agreed, along with all the Democrats and the Republicans in the legislature of New Jersey, that the New Jersey State Police, a pretty rough agency, let me tell you, as a criminal defense lawyer, New Jersey State Police are not clowns. They are pretty tough law enforcement officials. And New Jersey is saying, listen, we don't need this very expensive commission to have control over the waterfront so that they could decide who works, who doesn't work, and kind of regulate people's lives in terms of their social activity. So New Jersey says we could leave. And the court system in New Jersey, the Court of Appeals, Federal Court of Appeals, which Third Circuit, which covers the state of New Jersey, has ruled that New Jersey has the right to withdraw. The Waterfront Commission took the case to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said they would not hear the case, so it would have to stay as it was, that the Waterfront Commission would be abolished, unless New York State decides to intervene and sue New Jersey. And that's the crazy situation that we have going on right now in the court system, where New York is suing New Jersey to prevent New Jersey from pulling out of this deal. And New Jersey is saying to New York, please, we want regular policemen to police the waterfront. We want the state police to regulate crime on the docks. We do not need this special Waterfront Commission anymore, which has morphed into an oppressive organization, which is racist in the sense of Italian Americans who associate and have some contact with anyone who is involved in organized crime have to lose their job or they're not eligible to go to work. And that's just plain wrong. And that's just plain what they do every day. No one cares. Nothing is reported in the media. That's why I'm bringing it up on this broadcast. I know that there's a lot of criminal activity everywhere, including the waterfront, but there's no need for a special organization who has taken it upon itself just to abuse citizens who have not committed a crime. What they have done is be born that they have blood connected to someone in organized crime. Oh, his uncle is somebody. His grandfather was somebody. His brother-in-law is somebody. He knows somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not what America is supposed to be about. We're just talking about people who want to go to work. Believe me, I knew a story about a young lady who applied for a job on the waterfront, and they rejected her because they said that her father, who had been dead for 20 years, was a member of organized crime. And they also said, well, you have a brother-in-law who's a member of organized crime, a brother-in-law who she hasn't talked to in decades, okay? And I told that lady, you're the one who should bring the civil rights lawsuit against the Waterfront Commission. This is obscene. This is obscene. And you know what that woman told me? She said, Matt, I'm not going to play games with these people. They're too powerful, and I want to just go about my life and live my life. So the Waterfront Commission has instilled more fear in people than the mafia ever did on the docks. So that's the story for today, A View from Mulberry Street.